everybody, Dirili here. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Color X Malice along Aiji Yanagi's route. We know without a doubt now that Akito is working with Adonis, and we're trying to persuade him to turn himself in, try to redeem himself now. Although it's probably going to end up erasing his memory if he did that anyway. But let's see what happens. You can just sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. You see, Kazuki has much more faith in you than I do. I've said this before, but when he's with me, Kazuki talks about you constantly. I don't want you to throw away everything that you two would be able to do together. I'm not saying this as a police officer. I'm saying this as a selfish big sister. Please, Akito, please don't betray Kazuki's trust anymore. And besides, I want to ask you more things about Kazuki. I really don't want to see Kazuki get hurt. That's all. This is so unfair. The one thing I wanted to hear least of all, you just directly confronted me with it. You're strong, Ichika. A lot of people have been telling me that lately. Akito took a deep breath. At the beginning of this conversation, you said that you couldn't understand my pain, didn't you? Yeah. That really hit home for me. When I decided to take revenge, someone told me the opposite. They said that they understood my pain. That always bothered me. I couldn't understand my sister's pain, so I'm pretty sure that nobody can truly understand how badly other people are hurting. But you didn't let that stop you from trying to reach me. Akito closed his eyes. He smiled helplessly. All right. After a while, Akito looked up at me again. His eyes were now brimming with willpower. He seemed to have found determination. I don't want to crush Kazuki's spirit. You and I want the same thing. Akito! But I have a favor to ask you. Can I please have a little time first? I want to talk to my family. Okay, that's fine. I answered him without hesitation. If Akito wasn't sincere, I wouldn't let him escape. My duty as a police officer wouldn't allow it. But Akito wouldn't run. I was positive, so I agreed to his request. You'll get in trouble for letting me off easy. Akito smiled faintly. It's not that I distrust Akito, I distrust Adonis, because they're listening through your freaking collar, Ichika, and they might do something when you're not with them. I have one more favor to ask. Please apologize to Kazuki for... I won't do that. He needs to hear it from you. I interrupted and firmly denied his request. This was not something for me to say. You don't have to tell him everything, but he needs to hear it directly from you. Thank you. So much. Akito struggled to get the words out. He looked like he was about to cry. Oh. Yanagi.
You did well.
How'd you know about this? After Akito left the park, Yanagi approached me. I had contacted Yanagi after Akito asked for the meeting. Ah, I see. He had been standing watch near the park. That's smart! I actually thought it was kind of dumb that I didn't come here without backup, but I don't know if Ichika felt like she could really trust anyone to come with her. I was so nervous. Because we were sitting, Akito might not have noticed this, but my legs had been shaking the whole time. It had been stressful exerting that much pressure on Akito, and when I imagined Kazuki finding out about everything, it felt like I'd been stabbed.
It'll be alright. I'm sure you got through to him.
Yanagi's kind words cut through some of my anxiety.
Sarah was probably uncertain. He talked to you instead of running because he'd been ordered to carry out a murder. I'm sure he was backed into a corner. I think he wanted someone to stop him. He resolved it without increasing his crimes. You saved Sarah. Be proud of that.
I am. Thank you. Yanagi's compliments relaxed me better than anything else could have. Recently, I'd felt like we had been growing distant, but he was still a kind person at heart. Yanagi couldn't bear to see other people hurt.
All that will result from Adonis's quest is that even more sadness will be born into this world. All the suspects we captured, who were used as tools of revenge like Sarah, are part of the recurring cycle of malice and sadness. We can't just allow Adonis to do whatever they wish.
Yeah. His voice was full of determination. I nodded. Huh? Why'd you stop? Is it over, Yanagi?
Yeah.
Oh, Okazaki was here too? Yeah, he asked me for a favor.
If Akito Sera was part of Adonis, we couldn't be sure what would happen.
Oh, good. I had extra backup prepared. That was perfect. Why can't we always be this careful? Yanagi spoke gently. He was right. Even if Akito wasn't aware of it, Adonis could have had other agents lurking nearby. Yanagi had brought Okazaki along as a precautionary measure. Sorry for making you come out here, Okazaki. You're giving orders quite a bit these days. So, why do you sound so happy about it, Okazaki? Oh, do I? Is that what I look like? Okazaki touched his face, then immediately resumed laughing. Why is that so cute to me? But, yeah, I guess you're right. Yanagi had probably judged Okazaki to be trustworthy, and Okazaki realized it. Ah, I see. That's why he's so happy. He's been accepted.
You always fulfill your mission.
It's an honor to hear that from you. I glanced over at Yanagi while Okazaki smiled again. They're friends! That night, Akito turned himself in at Shinjuku Station. Was I there for this? They would probably start interviewing him. Based on events so far, it was likely that his memories would be erased. We could only pray that we could somehow gain some new leads through him. Can we get anything?
Hoshino.
Ah, Commissioner. After work, I was walking down the hall to head home when a voice called from behind me.
Sorry to bother you while you're on your way home.
Not at all, sir. You again. Why do you always have to be together? I mean, not that I really mind. I want you both, but, are you two more than just co-workers, maybe? Moriyoko was with him. He directed a sharp gaze at me, which made me recoil with worry.
Akito Sera turned himself in because of you. Is that correct?
For an instant, my words caught in my throat. It was like he'd seen right through me. But it was a logical assumption. Even a cursory investigation of Akito would lead someone to Kazuki. I just spoke with him for a bit. I'm glad it ended up with him turning himself in.
I'm glad that we decided to allow you to assist us at Investigations HQ.
Thank you, sir.
For a rookie, you have an awful lot of connections to persons of interest.
It's not my fault. They're surrounding me.
Morioka.
I didn't know if Minagishi was being diplomatic or if he was changing the subject. On the other hand, I could see that Morioka was obviously suspicious. I'll work hard. There was a mole in here, and they were close. It could still be more than one. Keeping Yanagi's warning in mind, that was all I could think to say. December 15th, 9:37 a.m. Understood. I'll send over some patrol officers. For your own safety, please do not approach the suspicious individuals. I'm Officer Hoshino of the SRCPO. Thank you for your cooperation. Phew. I took the police report and hung up. While relaying the dispatch order to a police box, I sighed. Once Akito was arrested, it felt like the entire police station had a brief respite. The interviews continued. Still, no new information was reported. I can't tell Kazuki everything, but if they lose contact, he might get the wrong idea. Akito is a minor, so his name wasn't released. It hurt to think of what Kazuki was feeling. I have to support them. I guess Akito didn't talk to Kazuki before he's turned himself in then. To do that, I had to focus on my own work right now. And I guess Akito's memory hasn't been wiped yet? Huh? A strange noise echoed throughout the police station.
Huh? What was that?
Is something wrong with the speakers? The unnatural sound spread all throughout the station. Everybody looked at the speakers. The noise was still going.
This is the next day announcement.
What? What came through the speakers next was a voice that had been altered. And I was certain that I heard it say, X Day.
As scheduled, sinners will be judged today. Those who pretend not to see abuse. No, those who see abuse but are bribed into ignoring it. The justice of Adonis will fall upon you.
Hey, what the hell? Locate and verify the source now.
What's happening? How are they using our PA system? I recall the mole within the force. Would they actually go this far? Is my collar laughing? And now, there was laughter emanating from my collar.
Hoshino, did you say something?
Shh, quiet, collar, you're giving yourself away. I just remembered something urgent. Sorry, but I need to step out.
Huh? What?
Leaving Mochida with a half-assed excuse, I sprinted from the room. Where am I going? I ran, looking for an unoccupied room. I arrived in an emergency stairwell.
I must say, that was well done winning over Akito Sera.
I knew it. Once I stopped and caught my breath, the collar spoke again. They had probably spoken up to force me to be alone.
However, we gave him a job that he was supposed to do today. We can't let that go to waste, so it will proceed right on schedule.
What are you planning? Like they're going to tell you.
I'm glad you're so spirited. Do you want to prevent further victims?
Of course!
Then, we will give you and Aiji Yanagi a trial.
A trial? Me and Yanagi? You want to try him?
Indeed. You've suspected he has something to hide, haven't you? Aiji Yanagi's never been one who could hate suspects and execute justice upon them. In the past, he killed someone.
What? For an instant, my breath stopped. But the disturbing things that the collar had said before wouldn't stop floating up into my mind.
However, we find nothing you say to be particularly persuasive, especially coming from you. Do you feel that way because you don't want those you've hurt to exact vengeance on you? Do you really think you understand the suffering of those you have wronged? We look forward to seeing if you hold true once you discover Aiji Yanagi's sins.
But had Yanagi really killed someone? Yeah, I really thought the guy in the hospital was the one and he was in a coma. Well, not a coma. And he's still alive. That's not possible.
You should hear from the man himself. Would you like to? We invite you to the stage. We would like both of you to come to the Tokyo Metropolitan Office viewing platform. It will be a great gala occasion, invite only, so no other guests, please.
Wait! Well, guess he's not waiting.
There you are, Hoshino.
What are you doing here, Mochida? Oh, Mochida. Mochida appeared as soon as the collar went silent again. He looked very worried.
You looked like something had gone wrong. I was worried. What happened?
Mochida, I'm sorry, but there's somewhere I must be, and I can't explain right now. Since Adonis had hit a bullseye, there wasn't anyone I could bring with me beside Yanagi. I couldn't explain, but I couldn't surrender. I channeled my emotion into my gaze.
Look, something's obviously up. Shouldn't I come with you?
No, I'll be fine, but I really do appreciate your concern, Mochida.
Alright, just don't do anything crazy.
Yes, sir.
Then fine. Go on and get out of here.
I watched Mochida leave. Oh, he's so sweet, though. He's the real dad of the game, not Yanagi. It was really painful to hold information from him when he was obviously worried. I need to tell Yanagi. Only I knew where the crime scene would be. We were running out of time. I hastily took out my cell phone. Hurry! Yanagi!
Hoshino, did the caller tell both of us to be somewhere?
Yes.
Sarah turning herself in must have screwed their plans, so now they're calling us out. They're obviously up to something.
That's true.
What is it?
No, never mind. That's right, don't ask him now. Let's play into Adonis's plans instead and let them ask him at the peak moment during the trial. Half of my thoughts were distractions unrelated to meeting up with Yanagi. The caller's chilling tale of Yanagi's killing. Someone in the past kept replaying itself in my head. I want to ask him if it's a lie. But what if he said it was true? I was afraid of the possibility, so I couldn't bring myself to ask.
Did they tell you something?
I trembled as soon as he spoke, which was a dead giveaway.
I see.
Yanagi faintly, knowingly smiled. The smile overflowed with sadness, as if his heart had been pierced.
Back then, you had an absolutely terrified look in your eyes. You look exactly the same right now.
Huh?
When Adonis introduced us to each other, they had researched us. You heard what I did in the past?
I didn't get any details, just that you killed someone.
I see.
They were just telling me that to shake me up, right? Trying to play with my emotions? They must have been trying to distract me so I couldn't think rationally.
No, it's true.
Yanagi's voice cut into my heart, although I desperately wanted to deny it. True. He'd really killed someone? I couldn't believe it. Well, darn it, Yanagi, tell me the circumstances.
Did they say anything else?
To ask you for details, and that we should go to the Tokyo Metropolitan Office viewing platform.
Alright, let's go.
Yanagi's face stiffened, and he began running. In a daze, I watched him go. I finally came to my senses. Right! This was no time to be dumbfounded. We had to get moving and save whoever Adonis was targeting. I can't believe it, but I can't think about that right now. I shook my head to clear my thoughts and started running to the government building. That's right, we can address that later. Save the people first. Ah, this one. There sure are a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Nothing seemed to be out of the ordinary at the designated meeting point, but there were a lot of civilians here, so we didn't know what might happen, so it seemed best to declare an evacuation. If I show the officials my police notebook, I can get them to start an evacuation. Now... Oh, crap.
Welcome and thank you for coming, Ichika Hoshino and Aiji Yanagi.
What did you call us here? Why did you call us out here? What exactly are you planning?
I think... I haven't played 2 other routes I haven't played yet, so I think Akito was supposed to plant the bomb here, though.
Yanagi, we had determined that, like her, you are also suitable.
Suitable?
Naturally, you are suitable to share the will of Adonis.
Don't screw with me. I could never sympathize with the ideals of terrorists.
Do you really think so? You haven't forgotten your sin now, have you?
Trick is to get him to embrace that sin.
Ichika Hoshino, do you believe us now? He broke someone.
I don't trust anything you say. Even if Yanagi acknowledged them, I didn't intend to let the caller's words shake me. Smart girl. I only believed what came out of Yanagi's mouth. There was nothing else for me to hear.
But you were there as well.
Ah, here we go. Huh? Yet, they shook my resolve nonetheless. My voice trembled.
It was during winter 12 years ago. You came from Niigata to visit your relatives in Tokyo. Don't you remember that incident you were caught up in?
The memories resurfaced. The events of 12 years ago. I was still a child. I had been abducted by a strange man. And assaulted. My memories after that were hazy. I could only remember one vivid memory. Someone drenched in blood had been beating someone else. I was very scared. I see now. That was... The man pleaded for help, while another person, a monster, stood over him, swinging a metal pipe over and over in his rage. So that was Yanagi. He had tried to save me. But the image that had been burned into my mind was one of pure terror. I couldn't even say anything. All I could do was tremble in fear. Even now, I couldn't form any words. Oh, I wish I could thank him.
That's right. I destroyed somebody's life.
But you saved another. Yanagi's eyes overflowed with sorrow. His expression was painful, as if he had been blaming himself.
I wanted to be sure he didn't kill me first. I lost it. I was never qualified to be a cop. I'm more aware of that than anyone else.
But it was ruled as an act of self-defense. You faced no reprisal due to the situation. That's why your past stayed secret. You who deceived everyone around you. You have always been like us, one who can pass judgment without hesitation. Still, you pretend to be an upstanding police officer. Did you enjoy playing that role? If we are guilty, then so are you. But we truly sympathize with you, Yanagi.
You sympathize.
There was no other way, was there? Your target used violence against you, so you were forced to fight back. Some criticized you for going too far, but would it have been better to let him beat you, cower in fear, and endure it all? That is the rationale of the assailant. Only ruin awaits those who do not fight.
I don't need your pity. I know what I did was wrong. Revenge doesn't build anything. I didn't wield that weapon back then out of hatred. I was afraid and cowardly. I was just weak.
But you were also protecting a little girl.
I don't want to think about those times. I didn't want anyone else feeling like that. So I decided to make myself stronger. That's why I will never sympathize with the things that you've done.
Yanagi's voice was firm. It was like a beacon to my chaotic emotions.
Crimes will always happen, whether they're intentional or not. You can't prevent them all. Merely exterminating known criminals won't bring about lasting peace. You're treating symptoms, not making a cure. To say nothing of the moral bankruptcy of committing murder in the name of peace, you've got no credibility at all.
It appears we won't see eye to eye after all. Such a shame.
The voice from the collar seemed discouraged. Maybe they really wanted to win Yanagi over. I think they did. They'd probably actually like to have as many supporters as they can. But it reminds me of Okazaki. He just wants to be friends. Yanagi had always shouldered the weight of his wrongs. All by himself.
Then please, demonstrate your resolve to me now.
Wait, what? As if in response to the collar, a woman suddenly screamed.
Nobody move!
What? Startled, I turned to face the source of the terrified scream. A man was pointing a gun directly at a woman's head.
The woman currently being held hostage once accepted bribes to overlook abuse. A girl killed herself from the abuse. The man with the gun was betrayed by someone he trusted, which ruined his life. He used to be a fine, upstanding man. If he's provoked, he'll execute his hostage. You can only save her by instantly taking down her captor. Now, what will you do? Can you find a solution for this dilemma that doesn't leave a trace of malice?
This is...
a familiar scene, I'm sure. You said you will protect everything. Can you do that without sacrificing anyone?
Yanagi's voice trembled. Logic dictates that we have to prioritize the life of the hostage. Her past crimes weren't a capital offense, and moreover, she was the victim in this case. But the man taking her hostage was previously a victim too.
Even if the assailants hurt others, it's not right to kill in every scenario. That's unconscionable. Punishment must fit the crime. But I will never accept that it's fine to take a criminal's life simply to resolve a crisis.
I didn't know what the right action was. I could barely think.
I'll shoot her! Get back!
Help me! Somebody please! Help! The screaming echoed throughout the platform. Panic was now rapidly spreading through the area. Then, amidst the chaos,
I don't want to hurt people anymore.
I heard a quiet voice among the commotion. It seemed to wipe all my hesitation, confusion, and fear away.
You see, I want to protect everything. I want to protect all of it. Yes, everything. Even things rules stop the police from protecting.
Yanagi, do you have a plan? Right. What reason was there to hesitate? I had known the proper goal from the beginning. It didn't matter what had happened in Yanagi's past. The Yanagi I knew was kind, and he was far stronger than anyone.
Power isn't what you need to solve cases like these. Even though you were thrown into the middle of this, you can bet that you'll stand on your own. You're plenty strong. Don't beat yourself up.
The Yanagi I know taught me to be strong. He gave me the willpower to protect others. No matter what happened in your past, I trust you, Yanagi. I lightly touched his back.
Hoshino.
I'll fire warning shots from his flank. Please follow up by shooting his hand. If you do it, we can save them. Both of them. Should we be doing the opposite? I don't know. I might be better at shooting than him.
But
You can do it. I know that you fought alone because you wanted to become stronger. I know you wanted to become stronger than anyone because you didn't want to hurt anyone. I learned that much about you at least. So please, be strong and help these people. Not just one of them, but both. Help them all. Even if it's hard or nerve-wracking, you're the only one who can do this right now. Nothing's going to move forward if you don't, right?
You're right. It's exactly as you say it is.
Yanagi raised his head. There was no more hesitation on his face. Yanagi's hand reached for his holster. Watching him, I drew my sidearm as well. Without aiming at the criminal, I spoke. This is the police. Drop your weapon and release the hostage. If you have any demands, we will listen. There must be some reason for your doing this. Please tell me what it is.
You're lying. The police have never listened to a word I've said, not even once. If you pull that trigger, you'll have crossed a line that you can't return over. Please, don't lose yourself like this. Listen to me before you do something you'll regret forever. There's still time to avoid this mistake. But...
Betraying his uncertainty, the gunman's muzzle strayed from the hostage's temple. Now! Oh, that's cool. Seizing on the chance, I raised my pistol. Failure was not an option. Actually, you know what? It is. And I'm going to do that so we can check out this bad ending real quick. Missed the shot. Sorry, everybody. Ah! Shot had missed. The bullet had pierced the hostage's shoulder, of all things. Sorry, Yanagi.
Damn it! You tricked me!
Paying no heed to the fallen hostage, the frenzied man lifted his gun. The barrel of the gun was pointed directly at Yanagi. Yanagi froze up completely, and his eyes went wide. Yanagi! I had already moved. There wasn't even time to think.
Hoshino!
My chest burned with pain. I knew I had been shot. Someone caught me as I fell. I'm sure I landed in Yanagi's arms. I'm glad. That meant Yanagi was safe. I had made it in time. I had thrown myself in the path of the bullet to save Yanagi.
It's all my fault.
Yanagi's expression was one of despair. It's not the look I wanted to see on his face. It'll be okay. I wanted to smile and tell him that, but it was a little beyond my capabilities.
This is because I hesitated. I was still too weak to do anything.
Please, don't look so sad. I wanted to stay by his side longer. I wanted to walk with Yanagi to help his wish come true. That's one of the short bad ends. But it looked like life had other ideas. That wasn't going to happen.
No, Hoshino! No! Open your eyes, please!
I could no longer hear that gentle voice of his. Yep, so that's one of the little bad endings. This newer set of guys I've been following, it's not so easy to find those divergent bad endings. But that was an obvious one. Alright, so now let's get back on the path again. And actually make the shot this time.
Gah!
Yanagi's shot accurately struck the assailant's gun. As soon as the weapon was knocked clear of the woman, I barreled in like a cannonball and secured the hostage. Are you okay? Yes.
Damn you! Freeze!
Oh, Yanagi looks so hot with his gun out.
Eep!
With Yanagi's pistol trained on him, the gunman settled down immediately. It seemed like the gun he was previously holding was his only weapon. We saved them. Both of them were unhurt. No one else seemed to be seriously injured. Huh? What? Is there something else?
Police, let us through. We heard gunshots. Is anybody hurt?
Realizing that the police had arrived, all the strength drained from my body. How are we going to explain this? But until the hostage was in their protection, I couldn't let my guard down.
Hey, are you okay?
Yes, the hostage is safe. She shouldn't be hurt, but you should call for medical transport just to be safe.
Got it. You're safe now, miss. Can you stand?
Yes. I watched the woman leave, chaperoned by the officers. She must be regretting her past actions. I desperately wanted to believe that.
Yanagi.
Morioka, did you guys follow me?
Morioka.
Morioka had arrived on the scene as well. He and Yanagi were watching each other. Morioka didn't seem to find anything wrong with what happened here.
I want the details later. Yes, sir.
What? So Yanagi's been on the police force this whole time? With that, Morioka mingled with the rest of the investigators. The surprised suspect was instantly surrounded by officers. Nothing happened. Coming to my senses, I idly touched my collar. It didn't react. I sat down in a heap. I didn't feel like I could stand anymore.
Are you all right? I suppose I have no right to ask that, do I?
Yanagi? Yanagi flashed a self-derisive smile and slowly sat down. He leaned against my back. His broad back touched mine. It was warm. Oh. Why does he look so happy and hopeful?
My hands are trembling again. I'm pathetic.
I don't think you're pathetic. You saved everyone involved, didn't you? He had saved both the suspect and the hostage.
It's all because of you.
Huh? I didn't do anything.
I could only shoot because you were here. You gave me the courage to do it. If not for you, I would have surely failed. Again.
So, I was helpful?
You were far more than helpful. You didn't just save those two people. You saved me too. It really is pathetic. I say I want to protect them all. I talk big, but freeze in the clutch. Once I think about losing anyone, I tense up. It's almost like a curse. I felt like I'd never be able to overcome my flaws. But you told me that we could save them. And there was no point if I didn't do it myself. You might have done it on your own, but you trusted me to act. And because I trusted you, I was finally able to shoot. I'm glad you were with me.
How can I describe the way Yanagi's words made me feel? I doubt anyone would truly understand. Oh, now I'm crying. Not me, Ichika. That's great to hear. The release of tension made my tears flow. I had been terrified. I'd never fired my gun in the field before. The thought of me directly hurting someone scared me so badly I trembled. I'm sure Yanagi's always been grappling with the same fear.
You were incredible. You're truly strong.
He looks so young in this picture, too. That isn't true. I was absolutely terrified earlier. I'm still pretty embarrassed.
You didn't run away even though you were scared. Frankly, I was so wrapped up in my own guilt that I couldn't face you. I tried to run from you. I didn't want to see you terrified of me again. You trusted me and tried to get closer and engage with me, but instead I just pushed you away. I'm sorry.
I firmly shook my head in reply. There was no need for him to apologize.
But you've always been trying your hardest, always looking forward, and even when I recalled my past, you spurred me forward. Thank you for believing in me.
Yanagi. My feelings had gotten through to him. Yanagi understood what I wanted to say. No matter what happened in your past, I trust you. I want to trust the you I know right now. Would you mind if I stayed by your side from now on?
You win. I can't beat you.
Yanagi chuckled at my timid question. His laughter was refreshing. Was that my way of asking him out?
Alright, stay with me from now on. You're my partner.
Thank you. My vision blurred. I couldn't stop the tears of happiness. Yanagi had acknowledged me. He recognized me as his partner.
Rather, it'd be best if you stayed with me. You'll get stronger that way.
Okay. The words I dearly hoped to hear from him struck my chest. It was as if the words alone were enough to make me stronger. Alright, and that's where we're going to stop the video. Very appropriate. And now we're finally getting back to Rei in the next video. Man, it took them long enough to start getting close to Yanagi. I mean, it's almost chapter 5. Jeez, he was a tough nut to crack. Alright, well, hopefully things will start moving faster from here on out. Hope to see you in the next episode, or in some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye bye, everybody.